So I'm in with Mary, just gonna do her morning checkup, see how she did after yesterday. She was sitting in her little tube when I came in. This is the first time I've been in a room with Selena loose, and I'm hoping that she'll stay put where she is. She's been a little dead. But she could come bursting out at any moment, so I'm trying to be very quiet. We do have a vet appointment tomorrow. I'm going to see how she's doing, and if we need to take her in sooner, then I will. Hi, there's your dorm room. So, what's the order? So yesterday I did give her food. She was dehydrated. And clavamox, so I'm going to start with clavamox. Funny because she reacts to meds the same exact way Elf did. Yeah, it's one. This is Fairy. Yes, Fairy came in last night. So she had a night of quiet, with, really his legs. Each of them were okay. There. Okay. I can try to turn it up a little bit. Look at that catermelon over there. There, maybe that will be louder. I have to talk quietly, so that's about the best I can do. Needs one. Take it in. It's okay. Good girl. Good girl. So Fairy is a cat that was unexpectedly trapped on our feral property by one of the workers, and he thought she was a boy, and so we were just gonna bring her in because she was just a traditional TNR. Lori happened to be at the feeding station that day, and so she brought her into laps, which is what we do for our traditional TNR stuff. So she brought her into laps thinking that it would just be a quick turnaround, neuter, and return. And then when they did intake on her there, they discovered that she is a girl, which complicated things, of course, because it's likely she's pregnant. Seriously, what was that? That was my white noise machine suddenly making a really non-soothing noise. That's not helpful. So, anyway, You like it? You like it? So anyway, oh, let me see, I can turn off the cricket noise. Hold on. Is that better? Do you still have cricket noise? How about now? Maybe that's better. Oh, now I need to put my phone on silent. Okay, there we go. This is the first time I've had so many. So many different camera angles to worry about. And how all the, I don't know exactly how all the audio works together. Okay, we'll start over. So this is Fairy. She was trapped originally, it was an unplanned trapping out on the property by one of the workers there who lives on the property in a trailer, and he has a cat. He has his own cat that he's brought in that's his pet cat, but the cat is indoor outdoor, and he has a cat door, and there's been a tomcat coming around and spraying, and the guy's been concerned that the tomcat's going to come in after his cat, and so he asked if we could TNR this tomcat, and so I had told him, you know, definitely we'll help with that, and we were going to coordinate a time to do the trapping, but I guess he just had the opportunity to do it, and so he trapped the cat, and luckily Lori, one of our awesome feeders, was out at the feeding station, and so she was able to bring the tomcat to Laps, which is where we take all of our cats when they're going for TNR. They spend the night at Laps, and so when they were doing intake on her at Laps, they discovered that she's not a boy but a girl, and because of the time of year, it's likely she's pregnant, and so I was going to bring her here. This was before Sable came in, so I was going to bring her here and let her have her babies, but then the girls at Laps wanted to give it a try there to see if they could, to see if she would do okay there, and that was about 5-6 days ago, I think, but she wasn't doing very well, and just the environment there is not very low stress for a feral cat, because it's noisy and they have different staff coming in and out and things like that, so it's not the ideal situation, and so she wasn't doing super well there, so Linnea asked if I could take her, and by that time I had already trapped Sable, so we really, taking on Sable was already sort of too much, but there weren't a lot of options, so I thought maybe Savina would feel better having a roommate, and I thought maybe Fairy would feel better having a roommate, so I brought Fairy in last night, and she and Savina did okay overnight, and they did a little bit of redecorating, but food has been eaten and the litter box has been used, which is good. You guys shouldn't be hearing any forest sounds right now if you're current, but let me know if you are. So anyway, so then I brought her here last night and noticed that she has some pretty significant tail wounds, and it's possibly broken. And so I just did the best I could last night to try to soak the wounds, because they weren't draining, and so there's always, when you have a wound that's not draining, then pus and infection builds up underneath the skin. So I was able to drain quite a bit of it. She was dehydrated, so I gave her some nice warm fluids and started her on antibiotics. So I'm just gonna see how she's doing this morning after a round of antibiotics and some fluids. I'll see if she's doing a little bit better. So, yeah, that's why she's covered in this blanket. I'm just trying to keep it as low stress as possible. She was pretty shut down when she got here, just from, I think, being so stressed for over at Labs. It was a stressful trapping for her, and then just being in the shelter environment is pretty stressful. And then on top of her infection and tail wound and whatever's going on back there, so I think it was probably really good for her to have a really quiet night and be with another cat, so another cat from her colony. So anyway, I did get a pretty good feel sort of last night. I did feel like I felt babies in there, or it could just be poop babies, but I think it's pretty likely that she is pregnant. Oh, someone's talking to us. I think these guys can hear each other when they're talking, and it maybe winds them up a little bit. Not in a bad way, but they talk to each other. Hi, sweetheart. Alright, so I'm gonna see. Oh, look, the catermelon is on the move. I'll see if I can switch you over to room view in the other room. I'm not sure where the catermelon has gone. There we go. Okay. Okay. So, hi, sweetheart. Do you swallow your meds? Can I look at you? She doesn't appear to have had really bad ear mites, which is nice. Look at her ears, they're looking pretty good. I didn't spend a lot of time interacting with her last night because I didn't want to add to her stress. I wanted her to have at least a night to kind of feel maybe a break from the fear and the stress. So let's see. There's a little paw. It's such a cute little paw. So I'm just gonna see if she needs more fluids, or if she's looking better. Okay, I'm not gonna torture her with more fluids. That's good. Just give her a little boost last night. Here, you can put your little paw up here. Okay, there we go. There we go, your little paw. You're just so sweet. I'm so sorry this has been so scary for you. I know it's not very fun. Does that feel good? Savina's a bit of a wild card in this situation because she does get so panicky. Because we do have some time with these girls before they have their babies, I think it would be nice if I could come in and interact with Fairy. She's definitely still pretty shut down, but she could have some potential, possibly, as long as she doesn't get too wound up by Savina. We'll just see how it goes. Hi, sweetheart. You can hide your little face. I'm just procrastinating because I don't want to look at her tail, but I'm going to have to do it. So I'm going to let her hide her face. Well, you know what, I brought this for you. I didn't know if maybe if you inhale a little catnip, if you might feel better. So in an ideal situation, I would definitely put her in with like a Sable or an Neelix personality. I think that would be pretty good. But I think I feel bad for Savina because she's not a candidate for being indoors. She's definitely feral, does not have the capability to the PC crashed again. I'll try to post it so you guys can watch intake if you want to. I'm just posting the previous video so that anyone who wants to watch intake from last night or hear the intro can do that. Okay, so anyway, where was I? So anyway, I guess I'll give you a recaplet. This is Fairy. She's a likely pregnant feral cat who came in last night with a possibly broken tail and some pretty nasty wounds back there. I don't know if, I think it's maybe more likely some sort of car or farm machinery, something like that. But it does look like there could be some puncture wounds. I'm not 100% sure what happened, but so now we have 4 pregnant ferals here, which is way more than we should have, but we're gonna make it work. So anyway, I was just getting to the point where I was gonna recheck her tail after last night, and I was able to give her antibiotics and fluids last night because she was dehydrated, and so I'm gonna see how she does. If I can shave a little bit of her tail. We'll see how she does with this, and hopefully Savina won't react to it. It's not super loud. Good girl. Such a good girl. I'm so proud of you. So brave. Oh my goodness. You're so brave. I'm so sorry. What a good girl. Okay, well that's going to be very helpful. So I think you guys can see maybe if I put this down. So you guys can see what I'm feeling here with her tail. this is how thick her tail should be. There's this giant nodule here, and then there's another one here, and then she's got several wounds and abrasions, so it's pretty rough shape. But this will make it easier to see, and it will make it easier to, I can send a picture now to Dr. Ferguson, and she'll know whether I need to bring her in for an x-ray, which I don't want to bring her in if I can avoid it, just because it's stressful. And she's been through enough, you know what I mean? So. It's okay, sweetheart. I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So we'll see. Okay. I know, sweetheart. Okay, so I'm just, to me that doesn't look very good. I'm not gonna mess with it too much. I'm gonna check, she had a pretty nasty wound on her bum. I just want to make sure it's still draining and doesn't look like it's gotten worse. You're being so brave. I'm very proud of you. I know this is horrible. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There it is. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna soak that just a bit, because it was to look like it was draining overnight, which is good. We just want to make sure that it continues to be able to drain, so that the infection doesn't get trapped in there anymore. Yeah, her tail looks pretty bad. Yep. Now, obviously it's not this skinny at the base of the tail, right? So this width would taper up to the normal width here, but this going from that to that is not normal. And you can kind of see her. You can see some of the wounds. Poor thing. She's pretty scared. She's pretty scared. I'll see if I can calm her at all when I'm done with this. But it might be best to just leave her alone for a couple of days. She's had a pretty scary week. Yeah, you were just minding your own business out there, and then suddenly whammo. So if you guys watched Tiger Buffy, also from the same colony, had a similar, his tail felt similar. He had a break right here and then another one down here. And his healed on its own, but it will always be kinked. She is still able to move the end of her tail. And it may have already started to heal. I don't know. I mean, without an x-ray, I don't know that we can say. I certainly am not qualified to say that that's definitely broken or not, but it feels It definitely feels like it's been broken to me. So we don't really have much of a rabies problem here in BC. So we don't do rabies vaccines on the cats out there. I did think that I felt babies last night. It could have been, you know, poop or something like that, but I am fairly certain I felt babies about that big. So, similar size range to Savina and Neelix. You're being so good. I know this is so scary for you. So everything I'm doing for her is pregnancy safe. So she's on Clavamox, which is a safe, very benign antibiotic that can be used in pregnant cats. She's getting that twice a day. So I'm hoping that as she gets more comfortable here and becomes less shut down, I'm hoping I can still give her meds easily. But, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We definitely are not equipped to have four pregnant feral moms here. Was not in the plans, so I was feeling a little anxiety just going to pick her up because of so many babies to find homes for, and you know, the unknown of working with feral moms. And then when I discovered this tail problem, it sort of compounded everything. But luckily I have a great team and a great vet and you guys, and I think that it's gonna take all of us to get through this. So I appreciate all of the encouragement and support, because it's definitely gonna be another stressful couple of months. Okay, sweetheart, let me take a look. Let me take a look at your poor little bum. So my goal with this is her, kind of her worst, the worst wound that I can see. So I just want to make sure that it stays, that it's able to drain. It had quite a bit of pus inside last night. So I was hoping that this would be less swollen today so that it was potentially not broken, but I don't know. I feel like this is probably... Anyway, we'll figure it out. So we don't know. So I don't know. It's possible she was hit by a car. It's possible that, you know, originally at some of these wounds looked like they could be bite wounds. Seeing the extent of the abrasions, it looks more like car or machinery or something like that, which is definitely a possibility on this rural property. I didn't see anything else on her, but it's pretty hard to do a thorough check. I haven't checked all of her feet. There's kind of trying to strike a balance between just totally stressing her out and making sure that I'm not missing anything. her temp was a little bit elevated last night. I'm not going to take it again this morning. I'll take it again tonight and see if it's gone up or down or stayed the same. But you guys can see what I'm talking about here, right? This is this one, and then there's also a swelling here. And then the abrasions are just all the way around, and they go all the way down to there. So injured tail on top of being pregnant, on top of being trapped, and then in a noisy environment, and then now in a quieter environment, but still scary. It's a lot. It's a lot for a little cat. It's a lot for a feral cat. So I'm just gonna see if there's anything that I can do that will relax her at all. Rotating so that you can see her little face. So we think that so she looks quite a bit like Elf. If you guys were following our last batch, she looks almost exactly spitting image of Elf. Don't you, sweetheart? So I'm thinking that she could very likely be Elf's mama or auntie, big sister. Sable is not in any of the nests over in the other room, just FYI. Hi, sweetie pie. She does look like she has perhaps a slightly cleft lip. And those are abrasions on her nose, I'm guessing from when she was trapped, but hard to say for sure. It could also be when her tail injury happened. So I'm not sure if she ate. I know that 2 of the food bowls with the smushy food are empty. So someone ate last night. She and Savina were out and about exploring, and then they took out both cameras that I had in here, so I wasn't able to watch for the rest of the night. Yeah, I mean, definitely this is how sometimes they react to stress. They just shut down. And so when they're shut down, they'll pretty much let you do anything, which is good from a treatment perspective, but obviously not ideal from a stress perspective. So what I'm trying to do is sometimes like if they have really bad ear mites, or sometimes you can get them to respond a little bit to, like she's actually leaning into my hand right now, which is good. If I can see any sign that she's getting a slight bit of relaxation or enjoyment, then I think that's a good thing. So I think it's worth trying, since I am going to have to work with her more. If she's anything like Elf, she may come around a bit. That's a catnip fish. Just in case that helps. she did really well with me catching her today. She was in the tunnel back there, so I just was able to cover it with a blanket and sort of wrap her in it and pull her out. I think the injury happened prior to trapping, the tail injury. They did notice the scabs that lapsed, but they thought maybe it was ringworm, and so they sent off a PCR, which thankfully came back negative. But so if she already had scabs when she got her intake at labs, the injury would have already happened prior to that. No, she's not purring. I wouldn't expect her to purr at this point. So if she is pregnant, this will be her last litter. Obviously, she'll be spayed once her babies are old enough to be weaned. Or depending on how she does, it would be great if she did okay. She could stay with them longer. I would love that. Maybe she can raise Savina's babies too. Each feral cat is an individual. They all react differently to being in captivity. Some are able to cope much better than others. And as we've seen, some are able to become socialized successfully. I haven't gotten a good look inside her mouth to determine if she has a cleft palate. I would guess not, but I think it's just her upper lip has a tiny bit of a cleft. Which also makes me nervous, because if she has little cleft lip babies, then we could be in for some interesting times. We'll figure that out if it happens. Sable is waddling around behind the fern, I think, in the other room. For those of you asking how to help, donations are always helpful. This is definitely going to be a challenge, having so many kittens, and they're not always the healthiest kittens from this colony. and we're gonna need help when it comes adoption time to try to find really, really great homes for all of them. Probably we're gonna get a lot of black kittens from Sable and Savina and possibly Neelix. And Fairy could have black kittens too. And having so many, it's gonna, I think, impede people's ability to sort of bond with them. So I'm a little nervous about being able to find really great homes for so many kittens. You guys thought 12 was a lot. We could have 20 to 24 kittens. And no friendly mom this time to take care of them, so that means I will be their mom when these moms have to go back. So helping us get media attention, we definitely could use some press attention to try to help get adoptions going. Just helping to raise awareness about feral cats. Yeah, so hi, you're okay. Did I take away your fishy? Alright. You're okay. I was able to vaccinate her last night, so that will help her babies. So I think it's just going to take some time for her to feel a little more safe. I know. I'm not looking at you, it's okay. It's okay. The way they respond to me interacting with them the first couple of days sort of informs the way I interact with them and my plan with them. There's no one-size-fits-all approach I'm finding with pregnant ferals. There are some universal things that help, but a lot of it is tailoring the approach to the individual cat based on their needs. if you want to learn more about what we're doing with ferals, you can go to tinykittens.com/ferals and see some of the stuff we're learning. Trying to document the stuff we're learning, because when we started this last year, the only information we had was what was available on the internet, and there are some really great resources on doing traditional TNR, but so many of my assumptions about feral cats have been proved wrong, and so the more we work with them and the more we try to interact with them and try to care for them more compassionately, the more I learn about changing my approach and getting better outcomes and doing things I never would have thought were possible. So it's been pretty fascinating for me to have learned so much in the last year, and I'm trying to document it so that other people who are trying to do things a little bit differently or maybe test their assumptions don't have to start from square one like we did. You guys can see, you can learn from our mistakes and learn from our successes, and maybe others will start documenting and trying things too, and then we can all sort of collaborate and figure things out faster. Because I know there are other groups out there. I just couldn't find any information. Not about TNR. There's tons of great information about TNR, but doing the other stuff with ferals that we're doing. You did great. You survived. You survived my phone alarm. Good job. Good job. Yes, you're very brave. You're doing really well. Yes, you're doing very well. No one has eaten you, and no one is going to eat you here. Savina's doing great too. I'm relieved that she has not yet come out and started flying around the room. So I'm hoping that me being in here with Fairy and not forcing myself on Savina will potentially just help her be the slightest bit less panicky in time, hopefully. The difference between relax and shut down, that's a good one. Shut down, they tend to just kind of curl up and lay there and wait for it to be over. They don't really react to their surroundings. They just kind of withdraw within themselves. It's a stress reaction and a coping mechanism. When they're relaxed, you know, you might see things eventually like, well, she may lean into my hand when she likes me petting her. She might lift her chin if I'm trying to do chin rubs. When she gets really relaxed, she may stretch out a paw. Eventually she might purr. I would say she's still fairly shut down. She thinks I'm going to eat her, but she is starting to respond to her environment, and her breathing rate is pretty fast, which shows me that she's still quite fearful, or she might be hot in this blanket because it's a bit warm in here, but the blanket will be making her feel more safe. She's got a very beautiful pattern. She's kind of like a ticked classic tabby. I'm sure there's a better explanation out there, but you can kind of see how fast she's breathing, so I wouldn't call her relaxed. However, she is also responding to me petting her. So that's why I'm still doing it. So, no vet appointment yet. We have an appointment for tomorrow. I sent Dr. Ferguson the photo of her tail shaved, and if she thinks that I should bring her down today, I definitely will. I suspect that if her tail is broken, it's healed to a point where there's nothing that would need to be done immediately. The hard part is probably over for her, except for the wounds. I'm not sure. We'll find out more, but treating the infection is important. Making sure she's hydrated is important, and supportive care, food, all that stuff, making her feel safer, all that stuff is important. And so I'm only going to stress her out with a visit to the vet if Dr. Ferguson definitely wants to do an x-ray. Otherwise, if she thinks that it's, already healed to a point where there's not much we can do, then we'll hold off. Right? You're such a good girl. You're being very brave. See what happens if we switch to a less invasive petting. She may take off at any moment. I would love to give her pain. I would love to be able to give her pain meds, but there's nothing I can give her that would be safe. I don't think she's in terrible pain, but I'm sure that her tail does hurt. It looked pretty, I think it feels better today, but last night it was pretty nasty. Oh my goodness. I wonder if I cover your face a little bit if you'll feel better. Is it just me or are you there? Alright, where should I get you set up? I'm pretty sure she's not going to be interested in food, but now let's just see. But you do want to go back in your tunnel. Okay, I'm gonna let her go. See where she. It'd be nice if I can see her walk and make sure she's not limping or anything like that. There you go. You can go. You're free to go. You're free to go anytime you want to. I don't pay you if you don't want to. You gonna make a run for it? You can go. You can go whenever you're ready. Yes, my legs are very asleep. Very asleep. The things we will need most are donations. You can go to tinykittens.com/donate and help finding really good adopters for the babies. Oh, my legs. Thank you for asking. My legs are quivering. I'm gonna try to move them. She may run off. What a good girl. That's very brave. You're a very brave girl. Very cute.